Hi everybody, my name is Morgan with Compass Rose Astrology, and today we're going to be talking about Venus entering Aries for this next extended period of time, and we also have, on the same exact day, we have a new moon happening in Pisces. And just to kind of give you a little bit of background, I am a traditional Hellenistic astrologer, which means I study Hellenistic astrology. I use whole sign houses and the tropical zodiac, so just to kind of give you a little bit of background about where I'm coming from, I am a student of astrology, and these videos kind of serve as kind of lessons, in my opinion, about what to expect during these transits and also what you can expect if you have these sort of placements in your birth chart. So first I'm going to go through what kind of the symbology of these transits can bring into your life, and then I'm going to talk about how it can show up in your life if it is actually in your birth chart, like if you actually have Venus and Aries in your birth chart. And I feel like that's kind of a fun way to go around doing it, because that not only gives some hypotheticals of what we could be experiencing right now, but it can also provide some real life examples of how you might be able to see this in your everyday life with people that have this this placement in their birth charts, or what kind of long-term this placement can look like. So let me just get into breaking down the actual symbology of the planets and the zodiac sign Aries. So we have Venus, which is the planet of feminine qualities, and it's not like gender specific, it's just qualities here that we're talking about. Venus is the planet symbolized by Aphrodite in mythology, and that is the goddess of love, of like harmony and passion, desire, fun, laughter, creativity, all those things. And she's a feminine planet. Venus is a feminine planet, which also means that she is, when we say feminine, we just mean it in terms of passive versus active, and not saying either one's good or bad, whatever, not applying any sort of quality to it, just saying that it is passive and that it receives. And so that's how Venus actually sees the world around her, and how she relates to the world around her is she receives in order to make judgments, basically. Venus allows the world around her to kind of feed her emotions and feed how she relates to others. And we can see this in the actual symbology of Venus and Aphrodite. We have laughter, desire, love, harmony. Those are all qualities that relate to the other. And so it takes a sort of relation with other people in order to make these kind of determinations, or to have these feelings and to have these qualities, right? So when Venus moves into Aries, which is the zodiac sign of the self, there's like this common saying that Aries is the sign of I am, which is kind of the opposite of what Venus is, which is relational. It's we, right? And so Venus has to learn how to express herself differently. So when she's in Aries, she has to learn and how to deal with, and she is being fueled by this martial desire for action, activity, physical expression, and kind of a sense of possession as well. And when she's in Aries, she also learns how to create boundaries, because that's also a quality of Aries. There's I am, and then there's you, right? So Venus is learning this quality of boundaries, but for her, how she kind of twists this to make it match her symbolism and her desires, she uses those boundaries to kind of detect what she wants, what she loves, and what she wants to protect as well. She kind of takes on that martial and Aries quality of protection and keeping kind of what is mine, basically. Venus in this placement can be kind of demanding and self-serving, taking on some of those kind of martial qualities here, but mostly it's in her desire to kind of keep things the way that she wants it, which is young, fresh, really fun and upbeat. And that's how she wants to have her relationships expressed as well. She wants to just keep things really exciting and new, basically. And when I say she, I'm just relating it back to Aphrodite, the goddess. I'm not saying it's like specific to a certain type of person, basically, because we all have Venus going through Aries, and we all have Aries in our charts. We all have Venus in our charts. So it's just more along to the qualities of your life that relate to that area of your life, basically. Aries is ruled by Mars, and at this point, Mars is still in Gemini, and it's been here forever. And I don't know if you feel the same way, but I'm so ready for Mars to leave Gemini. But what this means is that Venus in Aries is hosted by Mars in Gemini, because Mars rules Aries. And this leads to really fast, kind of quick decisions that aren't really ruled by logic, but instead they're ruled by like your will and your desire. And mostly it's the desire to be first. It's to be here and to be just like the primary person here, which Gemini and Aries both embody. They're both very much these zodiac signs that embody wanting to be the first and also being very forward in their goals, basically. And the way you see this is that Gemini really wants to be the first to think about it and to know about a thing. And Aries really wants to be the first to do a thing. So that's how they both kind of relate in that way. So we might here have Venus taking on some of those qualities and just really spurning these ideas and desires into your romantic relationships or just relationships with other people in general. And she might just be wishing and wanting you to move faster and to do more and to have more exciting things kind of going on in your life. So in my opinion, I think it's a good time to kind of embrace this period of your life with playfulness, honestly, because both Gemini and Aries are both signs that embody that as well. And Venus is the planet of pleasure and desire and fun and creativity. So it definitely puts a lot of emphasis behind like the kind of playful, exciting, fun sides of Aries and Gemini. And I also would caution you that there might be a tendency to go towards like reckless abandonment here, and especially in regards to your decision making. So kind of be careful with that. And also pay attention to your gut feelings. So I think that's really a big thing that we're going to be experiencing here, because Aries and Venus, Mars and Venus, I feel like are very gut ruled. They go with their intuition. So that's definitely going to be... there's going to be a very strong sense of intuition here, especially as we have the new moon happening in Pisces on the same exact day that this transit is happening. And I was doing some research for this video because a lot of people love to talk about new moons and they don't really ever have any sort of, I want to say like educational background around how to explain what a new moon is or what the new moon phases are and how they actually apply to our lives. And so I looked up traditional astrologer Demetra George. She has a lot of really great books out on the phases of the moon, and I would highly recommend you looking into some of her books if that's something you're interested in. But I did just want to explain that the way she explains what you can expect on a new moon is she says that the effects of the new moon is kind of akin to a seed being planted in certain conditions in order to create a new vision. So whatever new plan or new approach you want to take in your relationships, they're now going to be planted in basically this Venus and Aries environment. So that means that you have the drive and the power to create something really, really beautiful during this period of time. I would be careful though with follow through, because both Aries and Gemini, where Mars currently resides, they're big movers and doers kind of a planet, but they're not really follow-throughers in my opinion. They are the seasonal signs that start and end the spring season. So they have kind of a hard time with consistency. They're definitely about the change of the seasons, the beginning and the end. So I would definitely try to find something to kind of ground and root your decisions right now, because there's a lot of really fast moving energy here that might promote kind of not thinking about how to make something long lasting. So that's just a little kind of tidbit there, because Aries and Gemini do both have kind of a hard time with consistency and that's not a bad thing at all. Like, we need that kind of fun, exciting movement and change in our lives, and I think Gemini and Aries like both bring that to us. There is a lot of really great love and support here though, like even though it might feel a little hard to kind of find that grounding, because when we have Venus going into Aries, we still have Jupiter here as well. And so those are the two benefics. They're the two greater supporting, loving kind of, oh, I think you can see, oh, my cat's in the background, sorry, I thought maybe you could see him. But anyway, so they're the two greater benefics. They're very supportive and loving and really supportive, lucky planets. So you might like find yourself things just kind of working out as you try to make things happen, which is really exciting and kind of lends some hope to the situations too. And just to kind of bring this full circle, let's talk about what this looks like if you actually have Venus in Aries in your natal chart. So it really, really depends on your entire chart. You have to read it as a whole, but I will give you a couple of examples of how this can show up. So depending on where Aries is in your chart too, if you have Venus in Aries natally, it can signify so many things, but if it's in, like, let's say the 7th house of relationships, it can sometimes signify a need for an active partner, like, or your partner could be an athlete, could be a bit of a celebrity athlete, or maybe you are, and that's, you need someone to kind of match that energy, or at least someone that is outstanding in their field and really gets a lot of notoriety for it. It could also indicate that you want a partner that is very intense and also doesn't mind being the chaser in the relationship. It can signify a military relationship, which like you or your partner is in the military. Which could indicate kind of like long distance kind of living at points in time in your life, but it also could just be that you want to, it's mostly signified in a partner that's like very powerful and active and outgoing and pursues the things that they love in their life. If Venus is in Aries in a career house, like your 10th house, it can sometimes indicate a person who works in a really fast-paced environment, like an emergency room, or I even would say like a sales floor for like luxury goods, like something that's always changing and requires kind of a fast mind, but is very pleasing to look at, which wouldn't exactly be the emergency room. I think that would be more along the lines of having being a caring person and maybe even looking into the small details of certain things in the emergency room, like maybe it could be like someone that specializes in sutures or taking blood or something like that. And also I think this is very indicative of a chart for, or like it would be in a chart for someone that's like a videographer. So either someone that goes places that aren't usually traveled and takes pictures or videos of it, or who are just really groundbreaking in their efforts and their creative endeavors, basically. I hope this video actually was kind of fun for you guys. It was fun for me to record, so let me know if this is something you have in your chart, and if you have a job similar to that or a relationship similar to that or anything you feel like sharing. I would love to hear it and talk to you guys about it and see if maybe it shows up in other ways in your life and kind of dissect your birth chart maybe. That'd be really cool. Okay, cool. So I will talk to you guys in the next video and I'll see you later. Bye.